Good day, grade 12 students. This is Teacher Ira and welcome back to our philosophy class. Last time, we discussed all about philosophical thought in three views, the cosmocentric, the theocentric, and the anthropocentric. You also learned that in search for answers, we need to be reflective persons as we cannot do philosophy if we assume that our views are right than of the others. So today, we are going to discuss all about the value of philosophical reflection. To engage in philosophical reflection. What is the value of philosophy? This chapter will deal with the said question and then guide you through an example in your own philosophical reflection. When we engage in philosophy, our goal is eventually become wise, either theoretically or practically. Remember, when we eventually figure some things out, we become less ignorant. In our daily experiences, we encounter various phenomena. So let's get started. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to define Socratic method, identify the different views on the value of philosophical reflection, and explain why virtue is knowledge of good and bad. There are different views on the value of philosophical reflection. This time, we are going to focus on the three claims of Socrates. Three claims of Socrates from Plato's dialogues in Apology and Protagoras are worth noting. Know thyself. The unexamined life is not worth living. Virtue is knowledge of good and bad. These three claims are related to one another in an attempt to persuade you of the value of philosophical reflection. So what is Socratic method? Socratic method is the series of questioning and answering that Socrates employed in engaging in philosophical reflection. Socrates professed that philosophical reflection is necessary. That is why he compelled that people should think, defend their views, and account for what they know and do not know. It is true that we need to be compelled to reflect about what we believe because we are responsible for our thoughts. What we believe to be true becomes the basis for our actions. Moreover, if we know something, it is worth sharing to others. An examination of beliefs or thoughts provides us with the opportunity to know ourselves better. The choices we make create who we are. Remember, a life worth living is a life that examines what one thinks. Socrates considered himself as godlike. He awakened those who were asleep literally and figuratively through his persistent questionings. The result of Socrates' persistent questionings reveal not only what a person knows, but also what a person has yet to figure out. Socrates enjoined others to ponder on philosophical questions because he himself was seeking wisdom. His desire to know himself and the world was carried out in action. Every person must confront the question, who am I? If we do not ask ourselves questions, our strengths and weaknesses will also be unclear. Remember, if we do not know ourselves, we are bound to make wrong decisions in life. Virtue is knowledge of good and bad, provides us with another useful life advice. We need to ask philosophical questions that will provide us with insights on what is truly good and bad for us. To truly know what is good necessarily leads to the actual doing of what is good. One who pretends to know what is good does not choose what is good, or he chooses ignorance. Thus, philosophical reflection enlightens us and makes us better persons. What we think we know is reflected in our life decisions. The value of philosophy is evidently practical. Where ignorance is our master, there is no real peace. This quote from the Dalai Lama warns us the dangers of ignorance. He taught that all sufferings stems from ignorance. Thus, the unexamined life is not a good life. In our society, we have a term that is understood as having a negative meaning. When someone says, "You're a pilasopo," what will you feel? Will you be proud of it? Pilosopo is not an original Filipino word, though it is used by locals to refer to someone with faulty reasoning. However, it is not necessarily condemned by society. This kind of pilosopo is a danger to philosophy. So let me ask, are you the philosopher who loves wisdom? or who thinks poorly. Remember that a philosopher or pilasopo observes, thinks, sees clearly, and speaks the truth. Pilasopo, with skill in evading arguments by pretending to address them, commits fallacy. Fallacy is an erroneous kind of reasoning. To have skill in argumentation, one has to be mindful of arguments that are meant to deceive. There are many ways to mislead people into accepting something is true, especially those who lack in critical thought. Another kind of reasoning is known as equivocation. This kind of reasoning deceives by using a word in two different ways within an argument. Example, a person would easily be confused with the word father as a male parent with that of priest within an argument. Another kind of fallacy is known as argumentum ad hominem. It is an example of fallacy of relevance by attacking a person instead of his or her argument. For example, how can you argue your case for vegetarianism when you are enjoying fried chicken? Something irrelevant to an issue is raised to undermine an argument altogether. In Rizal's Noli Me Tangere, we find the character of Pilosopo Tasio. He expressed views that are deep and difficult to understand, like Socrates. People like Socrates and Tasio are uncommon in society. They proclaim thoughts that are unsettling and radical. Our society, however, needs people who speak the truth and help in making necessary reforms so we can all have a better future. So that ends our lesson for today. If you have questions, you may email me at moy.ytimbreza@gmail.com. Have a great learning day!